And welcome to the 1010 Diverse Show, episode 92. We've got between 9 and 11 guests today. We're going to quickly feature one of their songs each. Starting first of all, we've got a lady from England, Ida Heston. Introduce yourself, Ida, and the story behind your song, Crushed Blue Velvet.
Yes, my lovely. It's Crushed Velvet Blue. You're almost there.
Oh,
Um, no worries. It's actually a song that's inspired by, I don't know if any of you gentlemen have seen Stephen Sanchez. His song Until I Found You, that beautiful old style, but in a much more modern era. And it kind of really tweaked my creativity. And I thought, oh, I'd love to write a song that was in a similar kind of style to that. And it's really just a very simple, straightforward song about someone being in a relationship with somebody. It's not about me. It's just random. And it's just this person is looking at the person that they're with, and they just can't believe how lucky they are that this person is in their lives, that that's their other half. And and I've always had this is going to sound very bizarre, and I promise it's not a fetish, but I do love crushed velvet. So it just kind of fits in with the whole kind of songwriting process. So there you have it, Crushed Velvet Blue. Hope you like it.
hey, they won't like it, they'll love it. Honestly, Ida Heston with Crushed Velvet Blue.
Thank you.
I made a mistake there. That won't happen again until 10 minutes time. Sit back and enjoy.
Do that.
Take 3.
So many twists and turns on this road to you. Had my head spinning right from the start. How could I know that it would be you, that you'd find your way in my heart? Such a beautiful smile with tender eyes that knew just to love me. Your body soft and warm by my side, here parts of me. How did I get so lucky? How did I get so blessed? Is this some kind of trick or treat? You're like a beautiful dream. I catch my breath, but I keep on traveling through time just to get back to you. No matter what the future holds, you're my crushed velvet blue. I guess our lives could have been like star-crossed lovers, time by fate, on by day, standing only inches apart from the living night too far away. How did I get so lucky?
Ida Heston, ladies and gentlemen. Just you're a star, mate. So you are. I love you to bits. You're fantastic.
Thank you, thank you. I saw some of the comments that were coming up, and I wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's very sweet of you, lads. Thank you so much.
Hey,
Thank you.
honestly, I recommend you all leave comments in there, because see, when these videos are re-edited in the near future, we're going to pop up the comments anywhere, right? So yeah, keep them flying in there. But let's see what the pros have got to say. TT, then Paul Mash TV, then our next guest is Mark Redbeard Story. So Tim,
Yeah.
Paul, then Mark. What was your thoughts while I load up Mark's song? TT?
Well, yeah, Ada, that was beautiful. I
Thank
mean,
you.
really, your voice has a lot of passion in it, and you have that ability to fluctuate those. When I'm singing, I don't try to do what you did. I might be able to pull it off, but yeah, your register, it's very, very well done.
Thank
And
you.
I noticed that's a studio. I've done a lot of studio recordings. You were very prepared. You're not going to go in there and record that without being very prepared.
Yeah,
So,
it's thank you. It's the actual guy that you saw in the studio there dancing was actually the guy who recorded the video for me. And he's actually a good friend of mine, Julian Tardo, an incredibly accomplished musician in his own right, and he does a lot of mixing and mastering for me. So I was very blessed to have him on that day, and he was very patient with me and my little ideas.
it's not sometimes, but when you go into a studio, whether it's nowadays, a home studios, amazing. But I noticed that was a professional studio. But sometimes when you go in there, all your plans don't come out exactly how you want, but the song comes out great because that creative thing is happening. The background music was good, and I made a couple of notes. I really like the video. The passion in your voice is evident. Maybe shows like this, people, they need to hear your song, and hopefully you'll get more people listening.
Fingers crossed, I hope so. From your lips to God's ears.
And I noticed that your writing, did you write that?
Yes, it is an original, yes.
Yeah, that's I think everybody here will agree that's pretty good writing. Beautiful Dream.
Thank
You
you.
put in, yeah. So very good.
Thank you very
Well
much.
said, Tim. Well said. Paul Mash TV, what was your thoughts there, dude?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that song. Especially, you know, like the yodel part you did towards the end there. It kind of reminded me of Leanne Rhymes a little bit there.
Thank you. You did. You fortunately you didn't hear any of the bad outtakes. I didn't quite hit it, but yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Well said, well said. And our next guest, Mark Story, what was your thoughts, brother?
Yeah, we've all got bad outtakes. Ida, yeah, I think you've got a beautiful timbre to your voice. It's got a really beautiful tone and timbre,
Thank you.
it's very versatile. Even in the course of a verse, I noticed sometimes you was really roughing it up, other times it was really smooth. But you certainly achieved that what you set out to do to get. It's got a beautiful kind of nostalgic quality, that song.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my lovely. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Well
I feel
said.
very
So
I feel very spoiled.
Hey, Ida, until the next time, dear, that was Ida Heston. One
Thank
love.
you very
Thank you
much, everybody. Thank you.
So we're staying in England, and it's a return to the show for, well, this show's his home, Mark Redbeard Story. Introduce yourself, sexy young man. Tell me the story why you covered Catfish Blues, dude.
Okay, if it wasn't for this show, I would be homeless. You know. Yeah, hi, I'm Mark Story. I'll make this brief. Basically, I'm in the process of recording an album at the moment of original material. I play all the instruments, do all the mixing and producing, lyrics, vocals, and do the video production. But I do like to do the odd cover. There won't be any covers on the album because I'd like to do a kind of separate album of covers. But I really like the song Catfish Blues. I've heard many blues artists cover it, and they usually do it quite slow, and some of them do it a little bit heavier. So I thought I'd try and put the two together, and I hope you enjoy it.
Hey, again, no hope about it. They'll absolutely love it. If you're not acquainted with Mark's Story, sit back and enjoy. And welcome to the show, Russ Stallings. Do you hear that, man, as well? Sit back and one love, ladies and gentlemen.
was a catfish swimming in the deep blue sea. I'd have all you good-looking women fishing after me, fishing after me, fishing after me, yeah. I went down to my baby's house and I sat down on the step. She said, come on in, now what do you know? My husband just left. My husband just left. She said, my husband just left. Well, my mother told my father before I was born. She said, I got a boy child coming, you know. He's gonna be a rolling stone. A rolling stone. He's gonna be a rolling stone. A rolling stone, well, I believe my time ain't long. I said I believe my time ain't long. I'm gonna catch the first train smoking. Back on the road I'm going. Back on the road I'm going. Back on the road I'm going. Back on the road to ruin. Back on the road to ruin. Back on the road to ruin.
Captain Redbeard, aka Mark Story. Love you to bits, brother. Can't speak highly enough about you. You're actually my mum's favourite artist in the world. Just get Redbeard to come up to Scotland. They can stay here as long as he wants, and all the rest of it. And hey, love you, Mark. So Paul Mash isn't there at the moment. If he comes back, he can say something. But Tim TT Turner, then our next guest is Russ Stallings. Welcome to the show, Russ. I don't know if you can turn your phone the other way, Russ, and we'll see you a lot bigger if you can turn the phone the other way.
Yeah.
If Paul doesn't come,
Is that better?
if Paul doesn't come back, I'd like Steve Dunphy to say. I'd like Steve Dunphy to say something if Paul doesn't come back. So
Is that better?
Tim, yeah, that's perfect, man. It's double the size we see you now, dude. You might need to
Okay.
balance it. Yeah. So Tim, Steve, and then Russ. What was your thoughts? Let's do that.
It kind of takes me back to what I do, you know, before it's layering those guitars with his vocals and the other magic things he does in his own studio. He does it all himself. I think that's unique. Not all of us can do that. And in Mark's case, you know, that little riff there, and he played off of it. I mean, it's really a cool. I guess if you break it down, you might listen to it differently. But that's how I listen to it, Mark. I see your pieces, how you put them together. and very well done. I like how you did your acoustic, that and then you'd hit those hard punching chords on your electric guitar. I have to ask you, did you use the guitar you just recently showed everybody that you just got? Did you use that?
No, that's the old. That's the first Bohemian Organ. I've just bought a new one. I've just written a new song on that. I've open tuned it to G. It's a song in G,
Okay.
slide G, played slide, and the acoustic is a Washburn.
Yes.
Yeah,
I used to own a Washburn, and
I love Washburn acoustics.
Yeah, Washburn is kind of like the old Lyle guitar, if you guys remember. Lyle used to have a pretty nice acoustic. And your vocals, the way you layered them, and the chorus and everything, it all fit. And you know, I'm going to tell you a good job anyway. But awesome. I guess
Oh, it's breaking up there. I hope that's not me. Well said, well said. Mr. Dunphy, what was your thoughts here, dude, in Tennessee?
Yeah. Well, Mark, I really love that. I don't listen to a lot of blues, but when I do listen to blues, it's got to be good. And yours is beyond good. I love your gritty voice. It fits perfectly for what you do. And to produce that all on your own, I'm impressed. That's a lot of work. I know what goes into that because I do that myself. So very impressed. I really did enjoy your track there. Well done. Well done.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Do you know something, Steve? Every time the Ice music gets played, my hat turns red. I don't know if he's noticed that, but he's the only person that can do that. It's incredible. Russ Stallings, the next guest up, and wait, here is man. What was your thoughts here on your good friend Mark? I know he's the closest brothers now.
Hey, Russ.
Yeah. Hey, Mark. First, let me say I apologize for coming in late. That's my fault. I'm a little tech unsavvy. I apologize, Sparky, for that. That's my fault. And man, Mark, I'm a fan, man. I love how that Mark is just so unapologetically Mark. He just does his own thing, man. And I love that, dude, about you. You do your own thing, and that is the coolest thing. And I love that you're an Alice Cooper fan, and I think that Alice Cooper would be so proud to know that you're a fan of his, because everything you do is cool, and you just rock it out, man. I love that song. I think you do a great job there. It's just you, man. You ain't trying to be nobody else. You do your own thing, and it's just good, man. It's a great song.
Hey.
Great job. I love it.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you for all your comments. Cheers.
Just imagine somebody took him into a £1 million studio to record these stuff. He's recording it all in his back, his little studio out the back, Redbeard studio. You know what I mean? Just imagine how good it really could be if it was done in some people in the family are doing their music in Abbey Roads and other world-class places, and Mark's just making this in his mobile phone and he's at the back, and as much as it's amazing, it could be even better. Paul Mash TV, I encourage everybody to add Paul, or he needs to add 11 of you. I don't know if you heard it there, Paul, because you were absent, but did you hear much of Mark's song there, Mr. Mash?
Yeah, I only heard the first couple of notes, and I remember I had to do something, so I wasn't present for most of it.
No worries, dude. But yeah, everybody's going to reach out to you, Paul, to save you the trouble of reaching out to everyone else. Just Paul Mash TV and Facebook. Till the next time, Redbeard. One love, man. You're the man, brother. Love you to bits.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Yeah. Right, so from London, we're flying over the pond to Kentucky. We're going to do 2 country songs in a row now. It's going to be Russ, then Steve. So, Russ Stallings, introduce yourself, dude, and the story behind Wild Western World.
Yeah, my name is Russ Stallings, and actually, I was living in Nashville for a while, but I'm back to where I'm from, about an hour and 20 minutes outside of Nashville, Tennessee, and Cadiz, Kentucky, and that's where I'm from. That's where my wife's from, and I wrote this song. It's called "Wild Western Wind," and I grew up on a farm, raised cattle, and we always had horses. And so, I've grown up around that stuff, and I was on the rodeo team in college and stuff. But, I wrote this song, and I'll just tell you just a quick short story about this song. When I wrote this song, we've all had those moments when you just felt like life was kind of just pushing you around a little bit. And in those moments, you can do one or two things. And when I wrote this song, I felt like I was being pushed around a little bit. And when I just had that moment when I said, I'm going to push back. I'm not going to be bullied. And I sat down and I said, you know what? I'm going to show what I can do. And this is the song I wrote. So
Hey,
here it is. It's called Wild Western Wind.
You're a very humble man. You're literally one of the best country artists in the world. And his band, he's got Hall of Fame country artists and everything that he works with. You're as good as you come.
I gotta give some credit, man. The guys, I just wrote the song, and that's me singing, but and a great backup singer too, man. Mike Rogers and some of those guys that back up sing in my stuff are just amazing. But my producer Buddy High is great, and the guys that play in the studio, man, the guitar players and the drummers and those guys on steel, those guys, man, they are top notch at Hilltop Studio, man. You just can't beat them, and they make me sound way better than I am. But you'll hear it, but they're they're phenomenal.
Stay humble. It's the most attractive thing ever. You're world class. You are pure country. And me and Russ do a country show. We're only on episode 2 is the next one. But Russ Stallings, without further ado, Wild Western Wind. Sit back and enjoy this. Kaboom.
And hayfields usually suit me just fine. Wide open spaces is where she'd rather reside. She sits by a campfire with only the stars in her eyes. She's a wild western wind blowing all through my mind. She's a wild western wind blowing all through my mind. It happens every night when that Tennessee moon starts to shine. That wild western wind blowing all through my mind. One thing's for certain, you can't put a bridle on time. On a buckskin named Memories, she rides through my dreams every night. I'm gonna load up my truck, gas it up and head west at first light to that wild western wind blowing all through my mind. She's a wild western wind blowing all through my mind. It happens every night when that Tennessee moon starts to shine. Home's where your heart is, but I know right where I left mine. sense. I'm picking wildflowers by an interstate fence. 50 more miles till I'll see her again, and I'll kiss that wild western wind. She's a wild western wind blowing all through my mind. It happens every night when that Tennessee moon starts to shine. Home's where your heart is, but I know right where I left mine. With that wild western wind blowing all through my mind. She's my wild western woman blowing all through my mind.
The one, the only Russ Stallings, ladies and gentlemen, just wunderbar, absolutely fantastic. Tim TT, I think Paul Mash he's quite a busy guy, had to leave there. So Tim TT, then Tim Bruce, then our next guest is Steve Dunphy. So Tim TT, Tim B, and then Steve. What was your thoughts there? Well, I'll load up Steve's track.
Wow. I love it. There's so much to listen to there. Sometimes you go in the studio, you do a live band recording. Sometimes you do tracks. However you did it, Russ, all the pieces are beautiful, fit. The guitar playing is off the charts. I was asking myself, is that a Strat? Is that a Tele? I don't know, but I know it had that twangy, wonderful freaking sound that just makes you, well, I won't say, but you know, it's pretty awesome. Your vocals, I said this before about you. And they really are good studio artists, but your voice matches it. So don't, yeah. Matt, I've actually.
Tim, your signal's breaking up, dude. Your signal's really poor at the moment, man. We're hearing half of what you're saying, dude. But we heard most of it. But yeah, I don't know if there's.
Bad. You know, I'm up in the mountains, and sometimes that happens, and then the Wi-Fi will correct itself. Okay, well, if you can't hear me, Russ, I hope you hear this. It's an awesome song. I love the song, and I love your writing. You can't stop time. It moves forward. It moves onward. You can't stop it, so you got to deal with it, and that's what you were writing about, and I appreciate that. And it's a mind and heart song. It's about the mind and it's about the heart. And you know, you did such a good job on writing. So you're matching those wonderful, great artists that you talk about.
Hey, as good as it comes. Like, go and check out the rest of his stuff, Russ Stallings. I mean, you don't get any better than you, Russ, honestly. And can I just tell everybody about very good news at the moment? And I'm sorry to say it, Tim, but maybe it was a secret. But Mr. Tim Turner just beat cancer. He just went back to the doctor, and he's got no cancer in his body, and he's just found that out today. So, Tim, I'm so happy for you, man. Tim T.T. Turner. Hey.
I did not know you were gonna say, okay.
Hey, I had to say it because, you know, something, he's a very happy man at the moment.
Well,
Tim Bruce.
I thought maybe I was on my way out, but I'm not.
Hey, you're going to live to your 100, brother. You're going to live to your 100. Tim Bruce over in England, that's my little brother's name, is Bruce as well. So when I first met Tim, I said, Tim, you need to, the name Tim Bruce. So what was your thoughts? Wait to hear him later. Tim Bruce.
Well, it was a great track, Russ. As a pianist, I always kind of listen out for the piano, and I love the fact that, you know, there were features of the piano there, but then the guitar came in, and I just felt the whole production was really well balanced in that you had different instruments featuring at different times, and then, you know, the harmonies in the backing vocals really added a richness to the chorus, and you know, for me it was just a fantastic track to listen to because it, you know, it contained everything and it just felt really well balanced. So that's why I put great production up as a comment, because I felt it was a really good example of your country and Western music. Us in England aren't quite so cultured in terms of in terms of country and Western music, but I do quite a lot of traveling in America, and I know that track would go down well.
Hey,
Thank you.
honestly,
Just and not to name drop or anything, but the guy that's playing piano in that track, Buddy Hyatt, he's the producer. Also, he played keyboards for Toto some and the rock group Toto, and the guy playing guitar, by the way, Brent Mason is in the CMA, so Hall of Fame. So just throw those things out there. So those are some of the guys you're listening to there. So.
hey, honestly, the most humble man in the world. Steve Dunphy, another country artist, and I wanted you to go one after each other so that hopefully you two guys can bond. What was your thoughts, Mr. Dunphy?
Well, like I put up in the comments, that was real country there, and I appreciate that as much as the next country artist does. I really love the lyrics on that, and I started connecting with that song in the very beginning before the first word was ever sung. I was listening to the intro, and I'm thinking, yeah, Wild Western Wind is what I'm hearing in the intro. It was perfect. It matched the title of the song, the vibe of the song, the depth of the song. It was all about the Wild Western Wind and what you were talking about in your lyrics there, Russ. I connected to that song very deeply. So well done, well done, well done. That's what you want a song to do for anybody that's listening, is you want them to get emotionally involved in it. And you did a great job with that. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Well said, well said, well said. My camera's a little bit stuttery here, so I'm just going to turn it off. It doesn't matter if I'm in the show or not, as long as I can talk over it. So that was Russ Stallings. Until the next time, brother. Thank you very much. All right.
Thanks.
So from Kentucky, we just go a little drive, I believe, over to Tennessee for a debutant on the show, Mr. Steve Dunphy. Introduce yourself, dude, and why did you write the song? Darling, it's been a long, long time.
Again, I'm Steve Dunphy, and I'm in Mountain City, Tennessee, way up in the northeast corner of the state in the mountains. Not as high up as Tim there in Arizona. I'm at about 4,000 feet. But this song goes back several years. When you asked me for a link to YouTube, I'm like, well, I don't have all my current stuff out there, so I'll just throw an old one out there. This one is one I wrote on an airplane flying out to Las Vegas years ago. I was thinking about my 20th high school reunion and something funny that happened there at our reunion. I walked into this bar where all of my classmates were meeting, and an old girlfriend from like 7th grade was sitting there, and she had no idea who I was when I sat down next to her. And this is a true story. This song kind of embellishes it a little bit, but it's a whimsical song about a real life event, and I just thought I'd write a song about it.
Hey, you're absolutely fantastic. What a great addition to the show. Steve Dunphy with Darling, it's been a long, long time. Sit back and enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. One love.
On a plane bound for Las Vegas, something funny came to mind about another place and time. It was my 20th reunion back in 1998, and this story's about a gal I used to date. I'd headed up north back to my old hometown in southern Indiana. I walked into the Klondike bar on Main Street downtown and saw an old girlfriend knocking one down. So I said, darling, it's been a long, long time. You were my first heartbreak. But I've been doing fine, so let's drink 2 old times. How about another glass of wine? She said, honey, I've lived my whole life in this town, and I've never seen you around. I don't know you, so you must be confused. I'll bet you're just passing through town. So So I said, darling, it's been a long, long time. You were my first heartbreak. But I've been doing fine, so let's drink to old times. How about another glass of wine? She said, the way you've been talking, you must think I'm some old flame. Or is this some sort of game? And I don't drink with strangers, so please tell me your name before you drive me insane. So I said, darling, it's been a long, long time. You were my first heartbreak. But I've been doing fine, so let's drink to old times. How about another glass of wine? Well, she started getting mad at all the fun that I'd had, so I broke down and I told her my name. Then her face turned bright red and she laughed and she said, now, honey, that was back in 7th grade. So I said, darling, it's been a long, long time. You were my first heartbreak. Well, I've been doing fine, so let's drink to old times. How about another glass of wine? And she said, I've been doing fine, so let's drink to old times. Now, honey, where's that other glass of wine?
Steve Dunphy, ladies and gentlemen, just absolutely brilliant dude, you know. Just like 3/4 of this show, come here, feature all your tracks. We want to hear the stories behind all your songs. That's the purpose of why we do this. Love you to bits, dude. Tim T.T. Turner with the bad signal. See if you can be fine here. Russ Stallings, you're going to take Paul Mash's space this time, especially because of that, because of the country link. And then Buzz Hummer's the next guest. So Tim, Russ, then Buzz. What was your thoughts there on that wonderful track?
All right. I hope I apologize for that. It affects me too, because as I'm listening, it'll break up and I don't want that to happen. I want to hear the whole track. This is another, I mean, Russ, his song was awesome. And now we have another country song. I'm not much on genres. I just love music and my mind doesn't put it in country or whatever. What I appreciated about it was your vocals. And then I know you wrote it. I mean, my goodness, very good songwriting. I hope you can hear me clearly, and very good composition. Yeah, it has that country feel and sound to it, but it's music just like all the other music. There's only so many notes we can use, and we're all using the same notes, just putting our style. That's the beauty about music, isn't it? That's a Steve Dunphy song. It's only Steve Dunphy. And we all appreciate that, but it was done world class. It was very well. And I love the acoustic in my older age. I love the acoustic guitars when I hear that. And what a wonderful, that flat picking sound that you can get out of a guitar. You better know how to play to get those sounds. And I love that part of it too.
Thank you. Appreciate that very much.
Well said, TT. Mr. Stallings, what was your thoughts then, Buzz Hummer?
Well, for any of you guys that have listened to my songs, you know how I like to use humor in my songs. So what I really appreciated about it was that tongue-in-cheek, the humorous lines in the songwriting, and I just loved that. I thought that was great. That was my favorite part. I mean, it was a really good song, and I enjoyed listening to it, but that was my favorite part. I love those funny lines in the song.
Thank you, Russ.
Yeah, man.
Well said, well said. You know, I don't think you get a big-headed country artist, don't you know? They're all humble, like, oh, you know, I'm not bad. He's an absolutely world-class man. Buzz Hummer, what was your thoughts before we get to your section, dude?
I really enjoyed it. I saw some of the comments, like, classic country sound from the 50s, 60s. Really well done. I wrote, I think I've met that woman. I haven't got over my grade 7 flame either. So, easy to relate to for most of us, right? That was a great song. I enjoyed it.
Well said,
sure.
everyone. Steve Dunphy, till the next time, brother, come and make this place your home. Steve Dunphy from Tennessee.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it very much.
Pleasure, dude. We're halfway through the show now, so hang around and watch the rest of the amazing artists and why they wrote their songs as well. So from Tennessee, we're just going up across the border to Ontario, Canada. Buzz Hummer, introduce yourself and the story behind your song, Cash in the Bank.
Yeah, I'm a singer-songwriter. I'm based in a little town near Niagara Falls on the northern side of the border. Cash in the bank, it's kind of about, we spend our whole lives being told we're important, and it's really just manipulation to get us to buy stuff we don't need or we don't want, or do stuff we don't need or don't want to do. And these days in the internet, they can collect more and more data on us to manipulate us even more. So that's kind of what it's all about. The video, my wife Lorraine was a few years ago. She took a macro photography course, so she did all this stuff with little drops of water, and I just thought that was appropriate for the song because they just collect all this minuscule stuff, but we're just we're not really people. We're just part of the big ocean that they collect out there. Anyway, hope you enjoy it.
Hey, they'll absolutely love it. And there's a lot of problems in the world. And see if we just sit back, the ignorance is bliss thing, and think it's not happening to you. The problems in the world are coming to everyone is. We need to all stand up and write songs about it. What else? What more can you do? Buzz Hummer with Cash in the Bank. Sit back and enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. One love.
Just a number, part of a group, for getting votes, for selling soup. Nobody knows your name. You're just a pawn in their game. Analyzed, sorted and ranked. We are just cash in the bank. We're told to succeed, we must want more than need, yeah. Production is the simple little role you fill. Consumption goals are not devised by your free will. You're just a stat on a chart. You've got no brain and no heart. Analyzed, sorted and ranked. We are just cash in the bank. We're told to succeed, we must want more than need. They tell you you're singular, matchless, unparalleled, unique, but that's how they conjure and manipulate to gain the wealth that they seek. Isn't it unfortunate we are deceived each time they speak? Sorted and ranked. We are just cash in the bank. We're told to succeed, we must want more than need, yeah. Happiness depends on how you choose your brand. Salvation has been mortgaged in this promised land. We've all been bought and been sold. Somehow we never were told. Analyzed, sorted and ranked. We are just cash in the bank. We're told to succeed, we must want more than need, yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Buzz Hammer, ladies and gentlemen. He does his own open mic over in Ontario, Canada. And anyone who watches this is in Ontario, go and see Buzz Hammer's open mic, be a participant. So Tim TT Turner, Mark, Redbeard Story, going to review this time. And then our next guest, Stephen Boyes from Cornwall, where I am as well. So Tim, Mark, then Stephen, what was your thoughts here?
Yeah, similar to what Russ was song was a mind and heart song, a kind of rebellion against the world and how it tries to manipulate people and influence them to buy things they don't need, to be who they are not. You know, this is a rebel song, Buzz. You did a rebel song, and the production and the singing and the writing, it's top notch. I really enjoyed this one.
Well said, dude. Redbeard?
Yeah, Buzz, it was a really, really cool tune. I don't. It reminded me, it had kind of a Beatles feel to it. I could almost hear another vocal going along with that, like the Beatles harmony vocal. But it was, yeah, I really, really enjoyed it, and the video was exceptionally good as well. That I love that kind of up close stuff, macro stuff. So yeah, good job, man. Good job.
Well said, well said. Stephen Boyes, and the next guest, what was your thoughts here, dude?
Yeah, I liked it. It was very it's unique sounding and very interesting vocals. You know, I'm not a number thing going on with it. Yeah.
Hey, do you know something? Everybody needs to write more songs like this, and see if you do, you'll probably, the mainstream will say, right, let's never help this guy for that. But you know something? That's nothing that they've not been doing for ages anyway. So let's make a rival to the mainstream media, the mainstream music industry, because there's hundreds of millions of artists out there, and I'm only helping people cut through the same cloth, good guys who actually probably know what's going on in this world. I don't want to help any big-headed balloons or people that's already made it. It's all us, we guys are going to change the world out a little bit. If we can help the music industry, we'll be doing our part. Well said, Stephen. Buzz Hammer, love you to bits. Till the next time.
Go on.
So from Ontario, Canada, we fly back over to Cornwall, it's in England, southwest England here. Stephen Boyes, introduce yourself, dude, and the story behind your song Earth Rise.
I'm Stephen Boyes, also known as Stevie Boyes, and yeah, well, I wrote this song. I kind of had to some instrumental bits, and I had just that word Earth Rise, the title, and then the rest kind of writes itself from there. It's got to be about someone going in space and then looking back at Earth rising above the moon. And this is like an acoustic version. I made an acoustic version after adding more synth poppies to the version. I made this version, and I like this as much as the original, so pick this one as well.
As always, your words are short and sweet, and you're absolutely brilliant, brother. Stephen Boyes with Earth Rise. Sit back and enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. Song 6 of 10. One off.
The sound of thunder echoing in my ear. The countdown is started, leaving the atmosphere, feeling weightless.
Absolutely brilliant, Stephen. And I just see that you covered Dakota there by the Stereophonics. You have to go on the next cover show with that. Well done, Stephen. Fantastic. So Tim Turner's the next guest here, so you can go the third comment. Tim Bruce, Redbeard, and then our next guest is Tim TT. So Tim Bruce, Redbeard, and then Tim Turner. What was your thoughts here?
Yeah,
Wrong Tim.
Tim Turner, you're last this time because you're the next guest. It's just the way I like to do it. It's easier for me. So Mr. Bruce, then Redbeard, and then TT.
Yeah, I put up a comment there, Stephen. You know, that chorus is waiting for the stadiums to be filled. You know, it's you can imagine, you know, that really going somewhere when you've got this massive crowd joining in. It's a very catchy chorus, that, and I love. You know, it's you know, the fullness of the sound. You're obviously a pianist, which you know, appeals to me as a fellow pianist. But yeah, it was a great track, good production, and yeah, I look forward to hearing more, Stephen.
Thank you.
Well said, dude. Redbeard, then TT.
Yeah, Stephen, I really enjoyed that. I was quietly grooving along to the verses, and I did not see that chorus coming. That's a really good chorus. I could hear that in a James Bond film. It's the way you use the chords in the chorus. They've got that kind of uplifting James Bond. I really can hear it. But that is a great song. I really enjoyed that. So thank you.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's
Goldfinger,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, you know something? He's a very shy individual, but he's got a lot to offer. This man, very talented. Stephen is. TT, what was your thoughts before we get to your section? And it's another acoustic song, so try to match them a little bit here. TT.
Yeah. Picking up, Stephen. I loved it. The P. And I thought the vocals were perfect where you set them. Wonderful job.
Well said, dude. Well said. Well said. It broke up a little bit there, but we heard 95% of it, Tim, so don't worry. Right. Stephen, boys, until the next time. Cornwall, brother, where I am. I'm coming to see you soon. Stephen, boys, till the next time. So from Cornwall, flying back over the pond into the mountains this time, Arizona. Tim Turner, introduce yourself and the story behind your song, Diamond Dave.
A tribute to my older brother who passed away. It seems I've written a few songs from loved ones, and you know, it is what I do. I write what I know, what I feel, and I'm. It's what we do. We're songwriters. We make music, and it's what we do. And that's another subject to talk about. But Diamond Dave. I hope you guys can hear me.
We can. It's just breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, it's just me on it's a simplistic tribute to my brother Dave. He was a very interesting guy, just an interesting person, and this is a tribute to him.
The Diamond Dave, throw your diamonds in the sky. Sit back and enjoy Tim Turner with Diamond Dave. One love, brother.
His tattoos cover symbolically his boxing gloves, his hands did cling. He lived on the outskirts of 2 families. Diamond Dave is what came to be. Dave is his name. like a fingerprint, like a smile. He was a brother and a cousin for a while. He really didn't have a claim. And Diamond Dave became his name. Diamond Dave is his name. Diamond Dave is his name. Sometimes hard to find your space, and it can be hard to join the human race. He settled down to his place. Diamond Dave became his name. Diamond Dave is 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 his name.
Let's hear it for Diamond Dave. Rest in peace, Diamond Dave Turner. Just fantastic, TT, honestly. And obviously, you can't review your own song because that would be a bit biased. So, Tim Bruce, Redbeard, then our next guest, John from 1LS. Tim, Mark, then John.
Okay, well, Tim, it's difficult not to be moved when you take a song and you dedicate it to your brother. You know, I think, you know, one can't help but be moved by the emotion that you carry in that song, because obviously, you know, your brother is, you know, very much in your thoughts. So, you know, it's a brilliant tribute that you've put together there. And, you know, our hearts go to you, you know, for your loss. But what you've done is you've commemorized your brother with a song. And I think that adds strength to you as a character, but also generates memories for everyone who hears that song. So well done. That's great.
Thank you. You know, I didn't mention he died. He didn't know I played. He didn't know I had dedicated my life to music like that. And when he heard me, he asked me to write a song, and he died before I could show him the song.
Hey, he'll be looking down for heaven and he'll be so proud of you, man. So don't you worry about that. He'll be so proud of him. Absolutely, 100%. Redbeard, then John, what was your thoughts here, Mark?
Yeah, Tim, I mean, I echo everything that Tim said and what Sparky just said as well. Absolutely. Fantastic tribute. But I genuinely have to tell you this, that I fell in love with that guitar chord pattern you put in that song. I think Buzz Hummer commented on it and said it was hypnotic, and it is. It really draws you in. And that is a beautiful, beautiful song. 100% beautiful. Fantastic. Fantastic.
Well said, dude. John from 1LS, what was your thoughts here, brother?
Yeah, man, absolutely hypnotic. Like I was drawn into the chord progression from the beginning, the simplicity of it, but still the hook that it just grabbed you. I enjoyed it. It was a great tribute to your brother, man.
Well said, everyone. I'd be so proud of you. Tim, TT Turner. And if you can find that hat, you should come on the shows with that hat, dude. That was an absolute belter. Crocodile Dundee, eat your heart out, eh? Tim, TT Turner. One love, brother. So from Arizona, we're going across the state lines to Louisiana, a debutant on the show. John from One Last Stand. Introduce yourself and the story behind your song, Hometown Louisiana.
All right, I'm John Atkins. I'm from the band One Last Stand. The story behind the song is actually just trying to introduce the culture of Louisiana, mainly South Louisiana, to people who may not have had the opportunity to come down here, you know, check out the culture for themselves. We're very deeply rooted in our pride for our state and for our sports events, whether it be NFL, college, whatever. Our traditions as far as food wise and things like that. So the way the song actually came together is I started playing around with a chord progression one day in band practice, and the rest of the band followed in, and I just started writing lyrics on the spot. We had the whole song written in like 10 minutes. So, I mean, of course we expanded on it after that, but when the song comes together that fast, you can't help but do something with it. So, it's kind of got that swamp poppy feel of Louisiana, but it still has the country feel to it. So I hope you guys enjoy us. Hometown Louisiana.
Hometown Louisiana. Without further ado, One Last Stand with Hometown Louisiana. Sit back and enjoy. Song 8 of 10. One love, ladies and gentlemen.
Down in Louisiana, where the gray moss grows, there's an easy feeling that everybody knows. This is the place everybody wants to be. Since I was born, well, it's been a part of me. Yeah. Catfish dinners on a Friday night, crawfish balls on Good Friday, man, it sounds about right. You'll always leave here wanting more, and if you come down here, you just might feel right at home. I wanna show you my Louisiana, cypress trees and shrimp boat nights. I wanna show you my Louisiana. You'll always leave here with the biggest smile, 'cause that's my hometown, Louisiana. Yeah. Lafayette's got the Cajuns down in the Cajun Dome. Baton Rouge got the Tigers, Death Valley feels right at home. With the Saints on Sunday, playing in the Superdome. And Mardi Gras on Burger Street, man, you never wanna go home. I wanna show you my Louisiana, cypress trees and shrimp boat nights. I wanna show you my Louisiana. You'll always leave here with the biggest smile, 'cause that's my hometown, Louisiana. Yeah.
Let me show you my Louisiana. Yeah. Let me show you my Louisiana.
John Atkins, ladies and gentlemen. Wunderbar, fantastic. TT
Wunderbar.
and Russ Stallings, who I'm sure would love to say something, and our next guest, Eric. So Tim, then Russ, then Eric. What was your thoughts on John's track there?
Oh, if I could put my neck, choke it. I love that tune. I got it would break up on me, but oh man, I got enough of it. This is one of those songs in there, and you got blues, and you got country, and you got every single thing was such a clean recording. I love the slamming of those drums and that driving, flowing slide guitar, and say about such a balanced song. I loved it. It was great.
Hey, you call it Louisiana swamp music, didn't you, John? You call it Louisiana swamp. That's what Brad James Swallow calls his blues, you know, country, a bit of rock in there. Fantastic. Russ Stallings, then our next guest, Eric. What was your thoughts here, gents?
Yeah, John, I love that song, man. Great job. I love, first of all, the fact that I love that you pay tribute to your state. I love your love for your state, and I love Louisiana. Just on a side note, when I was on the rodeo team at Murray State University, we competed in the Ozark region, and one of the schools we competed against was University of Louisiana Monroe. So I made several trips to University of Louisiana Monroe to compete in the outdoor arena down there. One time it snowed on Halloween down there.
Right.
It was funny. The arena was full of mud. It was really cold in Louisiana Monroe on Halloween. It was crazy. But anyway, that's a story I could tell you sometime. But man, I love it down there. Love New Orleans, man. That's a cool place. Love your state, man. And I appreciate that you love your state. And that's a great song, man. Great production. I love the lyrics. I love the production. Everything sounds great, man. That's a good song. And I think that's a great tribute to your state, man. I could see that on like a commercial, like inviting tourism to your state or something, man. You know what I mean? You see these commercials where trying to invite tourism to a state. That's a great song, man. Good job, John. Yeah, man.
Well said, well said. Be proud to be a patriot. Don't be embarrassed like the mainstream want you to be. A patriot, you love your country. Everybody loves their countries. Scotland, nobody loves their country more than Scotland. So much so that even the Romans tried to take over the world, didn't they, years ago? They got to the bottom of Scotland. They're like, we'll just leave them. They're too crazy up there. Hadrian's Wall.
They just go watch. Go watch Braveheart, man. Yeah.
Stay patriotic. Well done, John. Eric, Ezra, what was your thoughts here, brother, before we get to your section?
All right. Yeah, that was a really good song. I like the lead guitar and the vocals. I think they carried it really well. There's a lot going on. Sounded good.
Absolutely fantastic, isn't it, Eric? John, from one last stand, one LS. Till the next time, brother. Honestly, come and make this place your home. Honestly, we do so much for you. Until the next time, right? So from Louisiana, we're staying in the States. We're flying up to Chicago, Illinois. Eric Bauman, aka Eric Ezra, introduce yourself and the story behind your song Amphibian.
Hey, I'm a recording artist, so I do everything myself. And there's not really a story behind the song. It's just kind of like something I came up with, and it sounds like a monster in a swamp. So that's about it, really.
Hey, what a sweet, short and sweet introduction. Without further ado, Eric Ezra with Amphibian. Another debutant on the show, Eric. Welcome to the 1010 podcast, brother. Sit back and enjoy. One love. Eric Ezra, ladies and gentlemen. What a chilled out song that one just made me just want to go, oh, well, I'm just going to, a chillaxed atmosphere about that song, eh? Tim TT, Redbeard, and our final guest, Mr. Tim Bruce. So TT, Redbeard, then Mr. Bruce. What was your thoughts there, gents?
Eric, let's see if I got this right. Position and you
Brother.
played guitar. What I loved about it is it wasn't really following the beat like many songs do. It was kind of had the drums doing its own, coming in and out, and it made me it was kind of hypnotic, and I was like, okay, I'm digging this. It's not one of those tunes that make you want to tap your feet, although you had parts in it getting creative there, and your guitar work. If I have it right, you were playing that.
You're breaking up there again, Tim. It's unfortunate, man. Mate.
I was just asking if he played the guitar on that piece.
Yeah, I did.
Yes. Yeah.
Honestly, this is episode 92 of the Diverse Show. For instance, in Friday, I'm doing episode 6 of the Metal Show, and on Sunday I'm doing episode 5 of the Rock Show. Mr. Bruce and I were going to be doing the debut spoken word show. Whenever he's ready, I'm doing 20 different shows and genre specifics. So this Diverse Show, you can be before an opera singer and after a rapper. So, Eric, that I would say that's more like an EDM chill out music. At the end of a nightclub night, it's like, absolutely brilliant. I love it. Redbeard, then Mr. Bruce, what was your thoughts there?
Yeah, it's very dark, and I really obviously like that. It was like a bit like you were wondering which sound was going to creep out the swamp and attack you next. You know what I mean? So when the guitar comes out, it's like whoa. Of course, the artwork is really really nice as well. I could hear that in a movie for sure, 100%. But yeah, it was cool, man. That was different. I liked it.
Well said, Mark. Well said, Mark. Mr. TB, I'm going to call you Mr. Tim Bruce. What's your thoughts here, brother?
Okay, well, as I said in my comments, really just a rich texture that you had there, and I love the fact that there was some discord in there as well. It wasn't just harmonic all the time. There was a real sense of edge to it, and that really gave such a great feel to the track, because it, as Mark referred to, the picture of that monster, just kind of like the whole thing resonated quite well together when you looked at it in the context of that image. And so I thought it was it was a great track, because you had so much to hear, if you like.
It's a very unique sound you've got there, Eric. Don't stop what you're doing, man. I love you to bits. Eric Ezra, till the next time. From Chicago. So from Chicago, we're flying back over to the UK for the final song of the evening. Mr. Tim Bruce, I absolutely love you, man. He's a man of God, a man of Jesus. His music is world class. Introduce yourself and the story behind your song, Knowing Your Heart.
Okay, well, just a quick question, Sparky. There's a Cat Laird from Scotland in the room as well. Is she just an observer tonight?
That's my mother, brother. She comes in and she misses me, you see, because I moved away for 5 years ago, so she comes in just to be with us, She loves it. But yeah, that's my wee mama.
Okay, all right. Well, this track is my favorite track off the first album I did. The way this album was done was very much a work of collaboration, because we didn't tell people what they had to play. We rather let people play what they felt was appropriate with each track. And there's a whole mix of genre on the first album. The album's called Find Your Voice because there are no lyrics. And I'm afraid, Eric, this is a complete contrast to the last your track, because this is something that, if you like, I loved about this track was that it features all sorts of different musicians. Not many of them, but enough. Oh, I've lost my camera. Hang on.
That's okay. Keep talking, man. I should come back.
Oh, I've got back onto the other one. Hello, I'm down here now. I didn't meet the guitarist for this track until after the album was finished. But I find that really exciting because when you listen to the guitar work on this track, it's kind of like, wow, this is fantastic. It's just so sensitive and just so apt for this track. And yet it was something that, I would never have thought of asking for. And I think that's one of the things that's fantastic about music is that, if you invite others in, you get this whole sort of dynamic mix of different people's approach, and it's just wonderful. And I have to confess, it's confession time for me. I'm not actually playing on this track. I wrote the track, but actually the guy who plays piano on this track is actually the producer. And the reason he played was he's a much better pianist than me. No, he heard something about my track and said, "Can I try something, please?" And he played it, and I thought, "Wow, this is great." And that's one of the thrills of music, is that you get to share it with people, and they often bring a whole dynamic that you would never think of. And I just think that's wonderful. So this is a real work of collaboration. The one bit I do know about is my son's intro and outro on the cello. And again, I wasn't there when this was recorded, but when I heard it, I wept. I just thought, wow, this is just wonderful. So this is a very emotional track for me. And the heart of the track is, I want to know the Father's heart, as in my Lord and Savior. I want to know his heart. And because that's how I can respond to people. And so that's the story behind this track.
Yeah, what a wonderful man you are, what a great musician, and Tim Bruce with Knowing Your Heart. Sit back and enjoy the final song of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. One love. Enjoy. Mr. Tim Bruce, ladies and gentlemen. And you know something? For some reason, us Westerners have been forced to try and not believe in the Lord. And what a fool you are if you fell for that trap, by the way. Tim Bruce, love you to bits. This is the final song, so I'd like everyone to quickly say something if you'd like to. So let's start from the bottom here. And welcome back, Tim Turner. You get cut off there, but you might have heard a bit of it. So Russ Stallings, another man of Jesus here. What was your thoughts here, Russ? Russ and then John.
Well, of course, I loved it. I'll just say that before I started writing songs about 4 or 5 years ago, I was a pastor for about 23 years. So, of course, I loved it, and I'm a believer, and I'm not ashamed to say it. And I loved it. It was great.
Well said, Ross. Well said. John, then Ida.
Yeah, man. It's a very beautiful, well put together composition. The fact that you weren't there when most of it was recorded was actually amazing. It was it was very well put together, as well as the backstory behind it, the Bible verses being put on the screen and all of that. It was a real great composition.
Thank you.
I'll say John Boy. Ida, then Buzz.
Yes, my lovely. Well, Tim, I absolutely loved it. I could very well imagine listening to it on my headphones down at the beach, meditating just in prayer with God and asking for guidance and advice for the day or even just for life. I'm very much a believer, so I really loved, yes, indeed, and loved listening to it. Thank you, because it's such a lovely way just to chill for the rest of the evening now. It's beautifully organized. So yeah, I mean, I think if anything, and I won't preach too much, but I think if anything, I think God has all blessed each and every one of us with the various gifts and graces that we have, as well as bringing us all together. So yeah, it's a blessing. So God bless everybody.
Well said, Darren. Well said.
Thank
Buzz,
you.
and then Steve Dunphy. Buzz, then Steve Dunphy.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's very pretty, beautiful music, and the arrangement. I think you said people just kind of figured it out for themselves, but it just works. You know, all the different layers with the different instruments, and it's like everybody's in their own private meditation, but somehow it's a group thing. It's exceptional. Well done.
Thank you.
Well said. Steve Dunphy, then Eric Ezra.
Well, Tim, I have to say I really love that. It was a beautiful collaboration. I love the different layers of all the instrumentation, and to bring that all together, to put that piece together, was really quite an accomplishment. And I'm a true believer in the Lord, and I've written songs that I feel the Lord has given me to share with the world. So kudos to you for not being ashamed as a Christian to spread his word, because that's what we're supposed to do as believers. And I want hats off to you on that. That was wonderfully done. I really enjoyed that.
Thank you, Steve.
Well said, dude. Well said. And you know something? That's one genre that the mainstream music industry will just not help you with. And why is that? You know, people that don't believe in the Lord, you know why they don't believe in the Lord? Because they think to themselves, life has been so hard, so many bad things happen that it can't be real. But listen, see all these secret society people that run the world, they believe in another God, and it's the fucking Lucifer side of things, and you can look and you can find that he's true. So I'm telling you right now, if you don't believe in what's happening in the next 5 years, if you don't, just wake up. You know, all this woke culture, that's taking the piss as well. We all need to wake up, and you know, you need to find the Lord every day. If you don't, and on your hell mend you, honestly, that's all I can say. Eric, Stephen, and then Mark. Our final three compliments here. Eric, Stephen, and then Mark.
Yeah, it was a great composition. Sounded like really serene and everything, and I like the sentiment that everything will work out for everyone.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well said, dude. You know, you're like Stephen, you know, short and sweet, a short comment, and you know something? Love it. We can't all be extroverted loudmouths like me. Do you know what I mean? Well said, Eric. Stephen Boys, then Redbeard, and Tim Turner finally, if his signal's working. Stephen, then Mark.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. It was really as the young kids say, vibing when it came on. It's chilled it out. Yeah, it's like almost like a meditation track.
Yeah,
So
it was beautiful. It was beautiful, and if you look at all his other songs as well, he always brings certain passages from from the religious textbooks into his songs, and it's absolutely, it's so unique and beautiful. Redbeard, and that Redbeard is an Alice Cooper fan. He's got a character in this family. But do you know something, Mark? What you got to say, brother? What you got to say, Redbeard?
Well, what I'm going to say is that if you have faith and it fills your heart with love, then you should never be ashamed to broadcast that fact. I've got my own personal views on religion, but I have nothing but the utmost respect for anyone's beliefs. And I think that was the perfect song to finish the show. It's been a great show, fantastic talent, and that was the perfect ending for it. Just fantastic. Well done. Yeah.
Well said, Mark, and well done, Tim Bruce, everyone. Tim Turner, you're struggling there for a signal. It's a shame. I bet you any money your wife's through on the other TV streaming stuff, which is taking some of your signal, right? I bet you that's what the problem is. That's what's happening here as well. My housemate's down the stairs watching live TV and taking the signal, but it's his house, so I can't complain. This has been a wonderful, beautiful show. I'm going to stop the recording on Facebook first and then stop the main recording. So goodbye, Facebook. We don't really care about Facebook because they are not the nicest people. But our own personal recording, I've ended every show with the world peace sign. We all want peace. Throw your V's in the air. I'm not stopping the show. Well, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Nice one.